Here is a groove, slightly transformed, just a little bit of a break from the norm, just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that's gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool for dance, but what about a groove to soothe the mood romance? Give me a soft, subtle mix, and if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. With Is It?
Can't believe you did the shit as well. Surely if you do the intro, I get to do the shit.
Double shits. Value for money there, people. Shitting from everywhere.
Well, Sean,
you
you do know some lyrics.
I know some DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince from 1989 or whatever it was. Might have been 87.
Oh dear, yeah. Well, there we go. Now, everybody's picked yourself back up off the floor.
Yeah.
Settle down again.
Did it actually record after all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
We're looking at another Kit plugin.
We are another plugin from Kit, and this is also from the Blackbird range, and it's the Blackbird Chamber Studio A, I believe it's called. And this is a reverb from Blackbird Studios, and like a few reverbs we've seen recently, you get a nice little picture of the room, the reverb chamber. This one's kind of interesting. So on the left here, you pick your mic. You got C24, an R88, or a 414, and then you pick your position, ceiling or floor. If it's ceiling, it appears dangling from the ceiling in the picture. If it's floor, you see it on a stand.
Yeah.
And then this slider here. Where else would it be?
Yeah.
Well,
Sean Vincent stating the bleeding obvious again.
Well, if you don't,
Specialist
people out there
subjects.
don't know what we're talking about.
Right,
They're not too bright down. And then you can either grab that there or grab that there.
Yeah.
And no, actually only that or that. Those either that slider or that there, and it changes the height of the mic.
Okay.
So you can put it in the middle of the room between the floor and the ceiling, or nearer the floor, nearer the ceiling. Depends which ones.
Do you like that?
Clicked. It's all right.
Yeah. Briefly.
Yeah, kind of. It's all right. Then you have a choice between the source. So direct, it's coming straight from the room down a mic. If you click hi-fi, you see a little picture of a hi-fi down there. If you click PA, you see a little PA system down there. And then you set your pre-delay. And then this is your wet-dry fader there.
Somebody needs to get out more.
Someone does need to get out more. Anyway, so that's how you set up your basic reverb.
Yeah.
Then over here, you've got a saturation circuit with a Neve-style control on it. You turn it on or off, give it more or less. That was a bit full on, I found, for reverb.
For reverb, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of an inch. I mean, interesting
it's not the signal
effects.
coming in, it's actually the saturation on your, what would have been your return.
Did appear to be so.
Yeah.
High pass, low pass.
That's the old Abbey Road trick, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got an equaliser, which is, fine, nice. 2 bells in the middle, shelf at either end, all good. Compressor, I quite like having a compressor on the reverb. It's an interesting effect. You don't want it all the time, but hey, why not? So there you go. Nice input meters and output meters. What are you thinking?
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the sort of room thing. I'm a bit funny with reverbs, as in I'm quite particular. Yep. And I just don't know whether, especially the saturation and the compression, I use high pass and low pass on reverbs all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I've got a big synth line or something, I'll actually EQ out the section of reverb that the instrument's sat in, so masking frequencies.
Smart, yeah.
But I think, what we'll obviously find out how much it is, but I don't know whether the bottom section. I've never felt the need to saturate a reverb. It would depend on how it sounds, I think is what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree with you. I think it's interesting as well. People underestimate, I think, at the beginning of their engineering careers, how much the sound of a record can be changed by just changing the reverb. Yeah. Not just the size of the room or the hall or whatever, but how many you're using, how they mix together, what particular plugin you're using, it can really change the sound of it. It's interesting. Some of my favourite records are very, very dry, but they're not without reverb.
No. So what did you think of this? Does it do everything from your short sort of chamber? It's obviously a chamber reverb.
I would say I found it good at what it did, but it doesn't do much. I couldn't get much variation.
No.
I couldn't get really short little slaps.
Really?
I couldn't get really, really long
big
things. It just did that sort of middle-sized reverb. It did all right. I just found it quite, considering the amount of control you appear to have.
Yeah, it doesn't actually do much.
Quite limited.
Because Reverb, I mean, I still use Reverb with Logic users, obviously. Reverb and Space Designer all the time.
Yeah,
and of course, you can download and add your own impulse responses into these units.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So you know, you like we looked at that spring reverb, didn't we? You know, and that's quite specific. You know, if you were doing an old surf record or something like that, you might want a little spring reverb.
Yeah.
But if you're going to buy a reverb unit,
Yep.
it's got to do something pretty cool to beat.
I think so.
The stuff that's out there.
I agree with you. I like the Relab 480.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is awesome. That is a really good. There's a bunch of the Valhalla halls. There's a bunch of nice reverbs out there. So when a reverb comes along, it's either got to be cheap so that you don't mind adding it to your arsenal when it ain't going to cost you too much, or it's got to be really, really good.
And which is this?
Wow.
Do you get a demo?
You do get a 14-day demo with all kit plugins, yeah, so that's good. Price-wise...
We're doing a guess the price.
Yeah, come on, let's have a guess the price.
Well, it's got to be... I think this is going to be... Looking at it, I think they're selling it on the way it looks. Yeah. I'm going to go 149.
Well, either you saw me card or you're a genius.
Well, we've just done about 250 of these shows, so
I think it's 267.
Is it? There we go.
Insane. Yeah, you're right. It's $149. In the sale right now, $75. I don't think I need it.
No. And a lot of stuff now, you know, you look at the synths and stuff that you use, they come with reverbs in them
quite often.
You know, I just. Yeah, I don't know, and especially like the other ones that you mentioned, the Lexicon and the Valhalla and what have you. Yeah, well, okay, Mr. V, is the Kit BB channel Chamber A?
Yes.
Shit.
I think it is a bit shit. It just is not flexible enough. It looks like it is, and in a way, I feel like turning the reverb off and just using this as a channel. Yeah.
I can see that
because it's got everything you kind of need for a channel, but the reverb bit is not all that.
Interesting.
I'd be interested to know if legitimately that is what the reverb chamber at Blackbird Studio sounds like. Because if it does, I wouldn't be using it much.
Having said that, we'll close your laptop now and never think about it again.
That's very true.
Anyway, so please like the video.
And maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member, maybe.
I'm sure there's something...
There might be some benefits. I think you might get to see videos a little bit early.
Yeah, and
you might get one free master a month from my mastering business.
Oh, there you go. So I knew it was something.
That's worth 50 quid.
Instagram Studio Life 101, merch stall, what was it on Patreon, all that sort of stuff.
All down the bottom there.
Yeah, so until next time, sayonara.
Adios.